Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, Honorable City Council members, to our Mayor, Mayor McCrate, our City Treasurer who's viewing remotely, our Deputy Clerk, our City Attorney, and to our administrative staff and the audience in attendance, as well as those that are viewing via the broadcast channel and YouTube Live. Welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting, and today's date is Monday, January 24th, 2022. Members of the public wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card located on the table in the back of the chambers and hand it to the deputy clerk. Additionally, members of the public who are viewing tonight's meeting via our broadcast channel or YouTube Live can submit their comments to publiccomment@romulusgov.com. And at this time, Mr. Chair, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo.
Here.
Councilman Barton.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
Councilwoman Talley.
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
Councilwoman Webb. And Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you.
And at this time, I will read the agenda. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. 3, petitioner. 4, chairperson's report. 5, mayor's report. 6, clerk's report. 7, treasurer's report. 8, public comment. 9, unfinished business. 10, new business. 11, warrant. 12, communication. And number 13 is adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the agenda as presented. Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Number 2 are the minutes. 2A, for approval are the minutes from the regular meeting held on Monday, January 10th, 2022.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to move that we approve the minutes from the meeting of January 10th of 2022.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held Monday, January 10th, 2022 at 7:30. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Abstain.
Ms. Webb?
Abstain.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Agenda item 2B, for approval are the minutes from the special meeting study session held on Monday, January 10th, 2022 at 6:00 p.m. to discuss the audit presentation by Plant Moran.
Need a motion?
You make a motion to support.
Okay.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Williams, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for approval of minutes from special meeting study session held Monday, January 10th, 2022 at 6 p.m. to discuss the audit presentation by Plant Moran. Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Abstain.
Ms. Abdo?
Abstain.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Abstain.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
There are no petitioners on the agenda. That takes us to number 4, the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tonight, we had a 6:15 study session to discuss the lead services line status for the city of Romulus. At this time, the chair is going to recognize our state representative, Alice Gosser, and State Senator Erica Geis. Would you come up to the podium?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Great. Representative Garza and I, as you know, we share representing the great city of Romulus. And we wanted to take this time to publicly recognize our city clerk, Ellen Craig Bragg, who in 2021 was named the Clerk of the Year, City Clerk of the Year, specifically. And we all know that the hard work that Clerk Craig Bragg does for the city, for the residents of Romulus, for our greater community. And so we have a tribute here tonight, and we don't want to take up too much time, because since we have official business, we wanted to do this last year. Of course, it's 2022 now, but between schedules and COVID, here we are, finally, long overdue, with this tribute that is signed by Representative Garza, myself, the governor, and the lieutenant governor.
All right.
Thank you. And thank you for giving us a moment of your time today.
All right, thank you.
Nine.
Thank you for coming.
It's terrific. All right.
Thank you, Senator Geis and State Representative Alex Garza. Thank you so much.
Yes, again, thank you. At that time, that concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to accept your report.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council, Madam Clerk, members at home watching, and those here at the meeting tonight. I'd like to start my report off with a little bit of good news, and the good news we have today is we are coming up on the 5th annual Curling Royale, which has become a fan favorite in the community, and I'm looking forward to that. But we also met with the group, and we decided all proceeds from that event this year will go to proceed our Little League Romulus Flyers football program. So spoke to the Westers who run that program, and we're going to donate all the proceeds to help the kids out in the football program. So that being said, I'll get to the business at hand here. First item that I have for council tonight, I would ask council to concur with the administration to adopt the attached resolution for the City of Romulus poverty exemption for 2022 to be used by the Board of Review to review or approve poverty exemptions.
Through the chair,
Yes, Ms. Talley.
I'd like to concur with the administration and adopt the attached resolution for the city of Romulus poverty exemption for 2022 to be used by the Board of Review to review or approve poverty exemptions.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for exemption of principal residence by reason of property. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Next item I have for council, I would request the council to concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into agreement with Gabriel Roeder Smith and Company for the actuarial valuation to determine the city retiree healthcare plan.
Mr. Chairman, if I could,
Mr.
I
Wadsworth?
move that we approve the retirees' health care actuation plan, which will be an agreement with Gabriel Roeder and Smith Company.
Support, and I have a couple of questions.
Okay. It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley, for retirees' health care actuarial valuation discussion. First, Ms. Talley, and then Ms. Williams.
So,
Mr. Talley.
oh, thank you. Who did this for us before? I know we did it in 2019. Who did it for us before? Same people?
Same ones, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. And then will there be a presentation to council after the findings? I can't remember if we did it before. I just don't remember.
I don't think so, but we can definitely make sure that you get the results of the actuarial
Okay,
study.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Talley. Williams?
So the purpose of this, is this to just look into where there can be savings made, or?
That's what they do.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item we have is a request of council to concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the Romulus schools for one school resource officer.
Through the chair, if I may,
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I'd like to make that motion to concur with the administration and enter into the intergovernmental agreement with the Romulus schools for one school resource officer.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for intergovernmental agreement for school resource officer. Discussion.
Yes,
Yes.
through the chair.
Yes, Ms. Talley.
Just a quick question. I see what they have here for the intergovernmental agreement, and it's very nicely written, but do anybody know what is the day-to-day responsibility? I know we've had this before in the school, and is this just for the high school or for the middle school? And what are they going to be doing day-to-day?
I don't have a copy of the day-to-day requirement for that position. We
Okay.
did have that position before and it went away, but I can
Right.
definitely get you a copy of that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
And
Ms.
is it just for the high school? Do you know?
I believe so, but I don't
Okay.
want to speak in air on that. I want to make sure, I'm sure there's some requirements for junior high as well.
Okay.
But I'm pretty happy that we're going back to this. I think it's great for the community.
No, I think
for
it's
the kids,
great.
too.
I just never, I've heard of it before, but I just wasn't sure what they did on a day-to-day basis there, so. No, thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Ms. Abdo and then Ms. Williams.
Yes. I just wanted to say I'm glad to see that this position is being brought back. I know the superintendent that was just released was the one who canceled this position. And as a part of the school district for 40 years, this is a key position in helping these kids get through school, helping with resolutions, and to also, he becomes a part of the community, part of the students' community, part of the staff. And it's really a preventative measure is what it is. And Romulus has done a great job. We've had great resource officers in the past, and I'm glad to see it brought back. And in the past, when they were stationed at the high school, they still dealt with the middle
Just with the
school
high
and really
school.
anything district-wide.
So,
Because,
I know you've dealt with it before. It's not like a security guard, though, is it?
no, not at
Okay.
all.
No.
No,
Okay.
not at all. He is a
Okay.
member of the staff, gets involved with the community,
Okay.
with the students. People think he's just there to break up fights. That's not what it's about.
Okay,
He becomes involved, and it's actually a preventative
Okay.
measure. And I'm just glad we brought it back, because I
Okay.
saw firsthand how good it was.
thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
You want to speak first?
Yep, thank you.
Oh, Madam Clerk, I think Ms. Williams wanted to speak first,
Yeah.
then we'll bring on Mr. Shelby. Go ahead, Ms. Williams.
Yeah, I'm very much aware of the officer. I think Officer Jackson was one of the first ones. He done a wonderful job. Then you had Hawthorne, and if I'm not mistaken, the last one was Cofield. I'm looking at the salary. I haven't known that a teacher makes $70,000. So is this salary, are we agreeing to only the school pay this individual, whatever individual this be, the $70,519 for the year? And then it's talking about an increase each year after that? And then my concern is saying that the city will be responsible for the benefits, What benefits? It's not specifying.
The benefits are the health care.
I believe we have Deputy Chief Shelby on the line that wants to speak on this.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Mayor and Council, good evening. If everybody can hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Okay, thank you. There's a couple questions on the table that I'll certainly try to answer. But first, I am very excited and happy that the school decided to reengage our police department and bring back our SRO program. I happen to have had that assignment in the late 90s, shortly after I became a police officer in the city of Romulus, and I can tell you firsthand how valuable that program is, and particularly the relationships and the proactive activities that take place to build those relationships to help prevent crime, educate students about something as simple as traffic safety. We know a lot of young teenagers are in the next stage of getting driver's license, so the program is very, very valuable. And in terms of responsibilities, I can tell you that when I was doing the job, we had 3 SROs in our schools. And having one right now, although I'm happy, is not enough. So what we try to do is, because the middle school and the elementary schools, they also have needs. So when that SRO is available, he will be servicing those buildings also, but primarily he will be stationed at the high school.
Thank you.
And in terms of the salary that Councilwoman Williams addressed, that salary is negotiated with our Police Officers Association of Michigan. Those are the rate scales and the benefits. And part of that package over the years, working with the schools, in terms of working together as a partnership, we negotiate to try to make the best deal that works out financially for both sides. So prior to the SRO being kind of discontinued, this was the working framework that we used for the financial, and it kind of worked for both sides. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Yes, so that still didn't answer my question. So the actual salary for a year, the full year, not a prorated, will be $70,519. That's what because it's saying that this actual contract is saying that the city will be responsible for benefits. I know Captain Deputy Chief Shelby just mentioned that benefits. So I'm confused. Who's responsible for the benefits? Is it the city? Is it the school?
So the salary pretty much just represents the officer wages. And as you know, the city, provides, benefits, healthcare and so on and so forth for our officers. So the city still will, pay those benefits. This just represent the officer wages for the 41 weeks that school will be in session.
And I understand that. And my concern is that I'm looking at the salary, the $70,000 a year. I'm not for sure if even the actual police officers that's on the road, or even within the police department, salary is that high. And can the school afford this? I mean, because I'm a taxpayer also, and I know some teachers don't make this kind of money. And I was just wondering, why was the salary that high? That was my concern. What's the difference now with this individual person that will be put in this position compared to before?
Well, the wage scale is predicated on the number of years that the police officer have on the job. So the officer that previously held this job was pretty much nearing the top of the pay scale for a police officer. And I'm sure Human Resources can provide you with those numbers for the wage scale for police officers. So it's not like a one-year officer is going into the schools. If that were the case, yes, that salary would be much lower. But the officer that will be assuming that job his salary is near the top of the pay scale based on his years of service. So that's why that salary is set the way it is.
Because I remember before, with the contract, the city split the salary, wasn't that the case? So in this year, with this contract, 3-year contract, the responsibility of paying the salary is all on the school, and the city is responsible for the benefits? Am I clear on that?
Well, you're right in that over the years, the agreement that was negotiated between the schools and the police department, it fluctuated from time to time based on the number of officers. So for example, when we had 3 or 4 officers in the schools, obviously, that cost was significant. So in that case, the city and the schools kind of split the wages and the benefits. So it's just a matter of what works during that particular time. And in this case, based upon the last agreement that we had, this worked very well for the school system and our city. So that's what was negotiated with those administrations, and we decided to keep moving forward with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no, Ms. Webb?
Yes, I just wanted to let my colleagues know, on page 52, just behind the mayor's report, mission, this is what the officer will do at our schools. And he is a police officer. He's not a security guard. He's a 100% well-qualified, experienced police officer, and it breaks it down in the mission, what he does. Thank you.
Through the chair. And as I said in my question, I saw where they had the breakdown of what's done, but I was just wondering what the day-to-day responsibility was of him doing. I see what it says in here, but what things are they doing? I know they're not security guards, but I want to make sure that I was clear that they was not functioning as a security guard. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Williams?
Yes, and I just want to make it clear, I've had grandchildren, not my children, but because they were out, but grandchildren in the school. So I worked with many of these officers that worked in the schools under this particular program. My concern was the dollar amount. My concern was the school being responsible for the entire salary when, from what I hear and see, is that whether it be the school or the city, we're both having financial issues. So I'm looking at that $70,000 a year. I'm not for sure who they have in mind of sending over to the school, but even with the benefits, it's not clear. What benefits is the city paying? It's saying training and uniforms and benefits. What benefits? Dental, medical, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's not clear, and this is why I'm asking a question. So I understand the job of the officer being in the school, and I thank you, Ms. Webb, for bringing that out. I did read that, but I'm aware of their job title and what they perform, their job performance. My concern from the beginning was that $70,000 a year, because I know from a lot of the complaints of the teachers and some other staff, that $70,000 is real close to $100,000 to a district such as ours. And so that was my concern. Thank you.
Well, I guess the only discussion that I would have to say on this is one thing. Think about Oxford. Think about Columbine. Think about all those schools. And it really hurts me, and we've not had our officer in the schools at late. And to me, if this qualified officer, and he's going to keep the peace, not only with the children, but as well as with the educators there, the parents who enter into that school, we need security. And this is a bad time not to have an officer. And I'm going to tell you, $70,000 for an officer with benefits, it's not even a drop in the bucket if some lunatic walks into the school and shoots up our kids. I mean, we have got to have this security, and I don't understand why there's always a problem when we set up here and we say we're for the residents and we're for this. Well, you know what? We're for the safety of our children, and our children are also considered residents. And I just don't feel that we should even be discussing whether the salary or not. It's everything combined. He is still a police officer. That's why his salary and his benefits. He's an employee.
Okay, Ms. Williams,
Yes.
first of all, Mr. Wadsworth had to speak.
If I could, I'm not going to get in a long discussion, but I think this is a good idea. Sometime we have to pay for what we get. And as far as if he's going to be a security guard or do this, as a police officer on duty, he will do whatever he has to do. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Williams again, and then we're going to move on.
And I just want to make this clear because I think some are taking it the wrong way. I didn't ask the question of the dollar amount of the salary because I was against safety of our kids or our parents or the staff. I was asking that question because I hadn't seen it before. And there's nothing wrong with being clear when you're asking a question. I never said I was against having a police officer in the school. I think it's great. You know, I think we need police officers, you know, in a lot of places where we don't have them. So I'm not against having safety in our schools for our kids. I want to make that clear. I just wanted to be clear on the salaries. That was it. Thank you.
Okay, Ms.
Mr.
Webb?
Chair? Excuse me, Mr. Chair, our mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mayor.
Just one last comment. On the back of the agreement, it shows that the Romulus Community School District shall bear the cost of the $70,000. Their salary is going to be predicated by the POAM contract. That's why they have the increases in there. It also follows the timeline for the contract we have with the officers. So, as Deputy Chief Shelby said, it's going to, the salary won't change with that officer. That will be the amount that's reimbursed to the city for the service of the police officer there. And it's also, to back up what Councilwoman Webb was saying too, it's not just to be reactive. We want an officer over there, and I'm happy the schools are embracing this again, to be proactive, to establish those relationships with our kids, to keep them from being in a situation where they need a police officer, and introduce them soon to that presence of being there. I think it's an incredibly successful program, and I'll credit Deputy Chief Shelby and Chief Fonis for reaching back out to the schools again and again and again, trying to get them to be receptive to this program. So I think it's great for the community, it's great for the kids, and the schools are going to reimburse us for the efforts of having an officer over there. So.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
We have our Director of Finances, Maria Ferris. She
Okay.
would like to
Speak
have a
on it.
comment concerning this subject.
Okay.
The agenda item. And
Go
they're going to
ahead.
bring her in. Go ahead, Maria.
Good evening, council, mayor, elected officials, and administrative staff, and audience. As I'm listening here and I'm looking at the contract that is presented, I just wanted to let council know and Ms. Williams know that I will get the question of the exact amount of the salary and the breakdown, and I will present it to you all, just for some clarification.
All right, thank you, Ms. Ferris. Okay, roll call. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes?
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Next item I have before you is Police, Fire, and Safety Commission reappointments.
Through the chair,
Yes, Ms. Talley.
I would like to make those motions for the concur with administration and approve the reappointments of Stanley Bragg and Vonda Cooley to the Police, Fire, and Safety Commission with terms to expire on February 22nd, 2025.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Abdo for Police, Fire, and Safety Commission reappointments. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Next item before council, I would ask council to concur with the administration and approve the reappointment of Kathy Freitag and appoint Emery Long to the Planning Commission with terms to expire January 31st, 2025.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr.
if
Wadsworth.
I could, I would like to approve the reappointment of Kathy Freitag and appoint Emery Long to the Planning Commission. And I'm kind of sad to see Dave Paul leave the Planning Commission. He's a man that has served this city well for years and years. Thank you.
Support. And I have a question.
Okay, it's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley for Planning Commission appointments and reappointments. Discussion, Ms. Talley?
Yeah, just a quick question. So we got Deacon, I'm sorry, I'll call him Deacon Long because he goes first. But Emery Long is going to be appointed, well, we're on the vote. Who's going to take that BZA spot?
We'll still work at the candidates on that.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
But by all means, if we have a candidate that you know of, by all means, if they're interested, have them submit a letter of interest. We've had a few in already, but we're always looking to recruit new talent.
Okay, thanks, Mayor.
If there's no other discussion, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Just backing that up too, I would like to thank Dave Paul for his years of service too. He's always been a wealth of information, a dedicated resident. So Dave, if you're watching, and Nancy, thank you for your years of service. And Dave is one of those guys that's been in a situation, I think he's the only other guy to be in the same situation I've been in, where I'm in public works and building department at the same time and work through it. So he's been a great wealth of knowledge for us to draw on, and thank you for his service.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Next item, for council, I would ask the council concur with the administration and consent to piggyback on the MDO contract 071B770081 to purchase one 2022 Ford Explorer XLT with options from Gorno Ford at the cost of $34,823.
Through the chair,
Yes, Ms. Talley.
I'd like to make that motion to concur with the administration and consent to piggyback on the MDO contract number 071B770081 to purchase a one Ford Explorer XLT with options from Gorno Ford at a cost of $34,823.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for piggyback on MDL contract for purchase of an administrative vehicle. Discussion. Hearing no discussion, discussion, Ms. Williams.
Yes, I would like to know, this vehicle is being purchased specifically for the mayor. So is it in the charter that we actually provide? Because I was looking for that. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, I just want to know, is it in the charter?
Don't know if it's in the charter, but it's in the policies.
It's in the
Typically
policies?
before, the mayor's office has always provided a vehicle. I'm using my vehicle now, and I've been using my vehicle for the last year and a half, because the fleet vehicle that I was using as DPS director was having issues. And I've never turned in a mileage receipt to the city for use of that vehicle, but I've run into an issue now where there might be an issue with my insurance. So I want to make sure that I'm going to be as covered as well. So with us meeting with dignitaries and taking them in different areas in the city and still working on economic development, I felt it was important to take care of this at this time.
My concern is normally before, wouldn't we give the mayor, or wouldn't the mayor pick a vehicle from one of the fleets, like from the police or the DPW?
No, and it goes far back as Mayor Oakley was provided a Crown Victoria before, and I think also McAnally. As well,
That's
too.
correct,
So there
that's
was-
correct.
Yeah. And we've become so frugal at the DPW that the fleet vehicles we have down there are far and few between. The vehicle I was driving was a recycled foreman's vehicle that we try to keep on the road, over 150,000 miles. DPW director's in a recycled police vehicle. DPW assistant director is also in a recycled police K-9 vehicle. So we get every mile out of those cars we can. So there's really nothing down there in the fleet that we can use.
So, no, well, what I'm accustomed to, like, with the former two mayors, I understand they drove their own vehicles, but they received a stipend. Was that the case?
Yes, there's a couple different things go on with each different mayor. And there was a city vehicle provided for a while, for one mayor, and then he decided to let go of that, then he got reimbursement for mileage. I don't want to go that route, I don't feel comfortable with that. So I decided the best way would be to go back to the old way and purchase a vehicle and have it used for city purposes only.
So you're saying that there's no vehicle in either fleet, DPW or police, that you could drive as the mayor?
No.
Not one? With all the vehicles that we purchased down, even as far back as last year?
No, if that were the case, or I felt there was a vehicle commensurate with this, with driving representatives around our community to show them and to showcase our community, I wouldn't be using my own vehicle. I was forced to do that because ours is having issues. We've sandblasted, rubberized over rust on it. We've put new transmissions into it. We've been as frugal as you can with fleet vehicles down there. By the time we auction them off now, they're used up and done. So we're struggling right now. We also had one of our officers needed one for undercover work, and we had nothing to give him that was satisfactory. So there's nothing down there that's satisfactory to use in this department.
Okay. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes?
Ms. Williams?
No?
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Next item here, I would ask the council concur with the administration and award RFP 2021-09 to Campbell Incorporated Mechanical Services for a 10-year contract for performing maintenance as needed and needed repairs on equipment replacement, the HVAC systems in city buildings, the costs associated, and the attached pricing sheet.
Mr. Chair, I'll
Through the
make
chair.
that motion
Ms. Roscoe?
for RFP 20/21-09 for the 10-year HVAC maintenance contract for all city buildings.
Support and a quick
I
question.
have a question too.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for RFP 20/21-09 for 10-year HVAC maintenance contract for all city buildings. Discussion, Ms. Talley, then Mr. Wadsworth.
Yeah, just a quick question, Roberto. Is 10 years normal?
You know, the last contract we had was about 19 years.
Really?
Yeah, and, you know, obviously, we can exercise the right that if we don't like the contractual relationship, we can terminate it.
Okay.
But one of the aspects that we do like about at least projecting out 10 years
Okay.
is cost control. So one of the things I'd like to point out is, I think at the 10th year, we're still, so 10 years from now, we're still cheaper than what we're paying Honeywell.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Thank you.
Mr. Wadsworth, and then Ms.
Thank you.
Williams.
Mayor, if I could, to the mayor, of the old 34th District Court, I see it's costing us about $18,000 a year with them. Have we got any plans for that, or are we utilizing that building for anything right now?
Right now, we have a couple irons in the fire. I'm reluctant to talk about those quite a bit in detail, just because some of those things are so shaky they depend on other things. Being fully transparent, I just don't like to talk about it until it's really going to happen. So we've been working with Wayne County for use of that building, looking at it for use of possible PD. We're just making sure we cross all of our Ts, dot all of our Is, collect all the data on what's the most efficient use of that building and where we're going to put our PD at. So we're looking hard at it. Hopefully soon we'll have some projections and some ideas. But yeah, we have a couple different ideas. We have probably 3 different layers of ideas we want to use that building for. But one of the short-term uses, we're going to be partnering with the airport and their security teams over there, and they want to come use that facility to train their bomb dogs and their teams, and we've worked with them over at the new 34th District Court building, and the thought being put them in a different environment so those dogs are trained in different areas. So being creative, but as far as trying to fill that building on a permanent basis, stay tuned on that, and as soon as we come up with some solid ideas and a path and a funding source to make those happen, I'll make sure I reach out and I'll let everybody know.
Okay, but we're just not idly standing by and letting the building just sit.
No, and I did go through there
And I
last
came
week.
a little late about the dogs, but the buildings. I once used the school buildings out here years ago for dog training. Okay, fine, thank you.
Ms. Williams.
Yeah, and I would just like to say, this would, I'm looking at it, be a savings going with this particular contract, $37,000 during that period, so that's great.
Ms. Webb?
Oh, I was just going to comment on the almost $40,000 savings, and also I appreciate the change because the former company, yes, had been here forever, almost as long as I was here, so I'm glad to see the change and glad to see the savings.
Okay. If there's no other discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, and that would conclude my report for tonight.
Thank you, Mayor.
Number 6 is the clerk's report. I have one action item. Before I ask council to take action on that item, I just want to acknowledge last Monday we acknowledged and celebrated Dr. Martin Luther King. And, it was with all of the challenges with COVID, and our students are on remote learning status right now. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to have the event, and also with the surge and, the health challenges and things that are going on, but working collaboratively with the schools, the mayor, elected officials, and we were able to have a program. And just have a few acknowledgments and shout outs that I would like to give. Just because we had a great program, it was a great day. It was brief, but we were able to have our march and a program. So I would like to just acknowledge first Romulus Community School District, the Board of Education, the interim superintendent, Donald Weatherspoon, Dr. Donald Weatherspoon, and a big shout out to Billy Garland. He is he's wonderful, and there were a lot of emails and back and forth, and so we were still able to have this program. So thank you, Billy Garland, and to Nelson Henry. He was actually our keynote speaker who did a phenomenal job. And then again, to all those Board of Education members that were there. And then also, we'd like to just acknowledge our city officials. Thank you, Mr. Barton, for being there, and Councilwoman Talley, which she's also on the committee. But we want to, we appreciate you for being there. Thank you, Mayor McCrate. He did a phenomenal job on his comments and remarks. Thank you so much for your support. For the Senior Center, Rose Swidan, to my clerk's office staff, because they stepped right in. At the time, I was out with COVID, but we were able to get this done electronically. Thank God for electronics. And so also to Jasmine Dancy, the Rotary Club, to the Romulus Ministerial Alliance, St. John's Lodge, and our very own Firefighters Union. So again, thank you, everyone. It was a big void there without our students, because that plays a big part on the success of our program every year. So we did miss the students, but they were there in our hearts, and we were still able to have a very effective program. So again, thank you to everyone who participated. And with that, and also our cable department, can't forget Roger and the gang, so thank you. And also our state and county officials, they participated, some participated in the march, and I know Senator Geis is already gone, but again, we just want to acknowledge and give them a shout out. Thank you. And with that, the action item under the clerk's report, again, I just have one, and this is a study session request and public hearing, and this is to discuss the 2022-2023 fiscal year budget. Maria Ferris, Finance Director, is requesting 2 one-hour study sessions and a 45-minute public hearing before City Council to discuss the 2022-2023 fiscal year budgets. Below are the following request dates, and which are as follows. Number 1, we're requesting a study session, a 1-hour study session to be held on April 4th, At 6 o'clock PM, the second study session would be 1-hour study session for April the 11th at 6 o'clock PM. And then the public hearing, 45-minute public hearing for May 2nd at 6:30 PM. And a motion would be in order to accept the study session request from our Finance Director, Maria Ferris.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion
Okay, Ms. Roscoe?
to set up the study sessions and public hearing requests to discuss the 2022/23 financial budgets. And that would be April 4th at 6 PM, April 11th at 6 PM, and public hearing on May 2nd at 6:30.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for a study session for the public hearing request to discuss the 2022-23 fiscal year budgets. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Yes. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. That concludes the clerk's report. It takes us to number 7, the treasurer's report.
Good evening, council, mayor, clerk, deputy clerk, and listening audience. I just have one announcement, and I'm sure Mr. Wadsworth will fill us in as we get closer to the date, but it was brought to my attention today that the annual dog and cat inoculation will be held on February 26th from 9 to 1.
That is correct, Treasurer.
Thank you. And that will be it on my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. That takes us to number 8, public comment. And this is the portion of the agenda for those that are in the audience who would like to address City Council. The rules to address City Council can be found on the back of the meeting agenda. If you would like to address City Council, please raise your hand, and after being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and state your name. Please note, members of the public who submitted a public comment card will be called upon first. You will have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairperson. As a reminder, members of the public viewing tonight's meeting via the city's broadcast channel or YouTube Live can submit their public comments to publiccomment@romulusgov.com before the end of the public comment period. And we do not have any cards that were submitted, and we do not have any emails.
Okay. Any comments from the audience? No comment from the audience? Close that part out, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Number 9 is unfinished business. Number 10 is new business.
John?
Ms. Abdo.
Thank you. About a year ago, the 9/11 Memorial Museum, National Memorial Museum, reached out to the school district, and they reached out to me. They were trying to find a picture of a former Romulus student, Albert Ogletree. The only information they had was that he went to school in the 60s. Albert was a victim of the 9/11, and they wanted to honor him on the memorial wall. Well, after spending a couple Sundays at the Historical Museum, I did find a picture, and I sent it to them. Well, they just sent me a letter wanting me to, thanking me, but also wanting me to let the residents of Romulus know that Albert Ogletree, a former resident of Romulus, is honored in the 9/11 memorial wall.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Abdo.
If there's no more new business, number 11 is warrant.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we pay warrant 22-2 in the following amounts. General Fund, $58,155.74. Major Street Fund, $762.35. Local Street Fund, $254.11. Public Safety Fund, $66,491.66. Cable TV, $274.12. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $371.66. Street Lighting Fund, $50,722.08. Oakwood SAD, $155.44. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $91,616.05. 9/11 Service Fund, $689.70. NARC forfeiture for the state, $6,871.37. Library Fund, $68,816.42. DDA, $2,387.67. Tifa District 2, $84,293.75. Water and Sewer Fund, $722,798.38. Motor Vehicle, $8,261.81. Technology Services, $7,904.57. Retiree Insurance Benefits, $61,422.52. Revolving Fund, $165,994.50. Current Tax, $5,605.50. Payroll Fund, $4,754.23, totaling all funds $1,408,603.63.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, to pay warrant number 22-2 for $1,408,603.63. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. A motion approved.
Number 12 is communication.
Through the chair.
Yes, Ms. Talley.
Yeah, just a couple of things I would like to bring up. Our clerk did a great job with it. Now, she does an amazing job with this Dr. King celebration. I just want to give a shout out to her. You don't know how much work she puts into this thing and pulling all the things together. I didn't know the extent of how much work she does back there. She had a team with her department, but she does a lot of work. So just shout out to Miss Ellen for all the work she does for the Dr. King celebration. It's just tremendous. And I just thank you for allowing me to just do a small part of what I do, because it was a great event. So many great comments as a result. And our deputy clerk, Tanya, so many people, it just pulled together, and all I heard was just great comments. Reverend Willis and his, they staying diligent about it every year, so just want to just give a shout out to everybody. It was an amazing event in the midst of a pandemic. Next, I would like to make an announcement about an event that the Chamber of Commerce is putting on in February. It's a Black-owned business and vendor showcase. It's Saturday, February 26th from 2 to 6, and it's going to be held at our City Event Center on Ecorse Road. So if you're interested, please reach out. There's going to be limited spacing, but reach out if you're interested in being a sponsor or a vendor. I'm told on the Telegram newspaper is one of the sponsors. So this is again Saturday, February 26th from 2 to 6 at our City Event Center, a Black-owned business and vendor showcase. Check it out. I hope to see you there. And then my last thing, in my absence in the last couple of weeks, I heard that there were some promotions that I would like to acknowledge. I want to do a shout out to Captain Shelby, who is now Deputy Chief. I want to do a shout out to Jason Otter, who was promoted to Sergeant, and to Monique Talley, who is Assistant to Chief Faunus. Congratulations to everybody. Great job, great moves. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Talley. Ms. Williams, go ahead.
Yes, I would just like to, and what ask the mayor, would you please put it on the city website so we don't get as many calls tomorrow. But Guidance House decided to cancel tomorrow the distribution because of the weather. So we will be back February the 1st at the high school. Thank you.
Thank you.
You said they'll be back on February 1st?
On February the 1st.
Okay.
So the following Tuesday.
Ms. Webb?
I would just like to say, if my cousin is watching, he said that he would be watching from the ATL. Congratulations, Lamaris Shirley. Fantastic job. If you watch the news on MLK Day, and you notice all over the city of Atlanta, and especially behind the dignitaries there, that huge artwork, that was my first cousin, Lamaris, who is a photojournalist, and he does a terrific job. And hopefully next year, he will come and do something for the city of Romulus on MLK Day. Congratulations, cuz.
Any more communication? I would like to say, again, echo on all the great things the city employees do. Again, our clerk, Ellen Braggs, that's an honor to be named Clerk of the Year of so many clerks that we have. And I'm just glad to be a friend of hers. And I just hope that everybody have a successful, nice, safe, take care of yourself weekend, because this stuff is serious out here. This coronavirus and this Omicron, whatever you call it, they're not playing. So I just want to say, just be careful and take care. Thank you.
Is there any more communication from council? If not, that takes us to number 13, adjournment, and the time is 8:29.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth? Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.